This is the Louie T Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Lockdown Coverage Week number 3 in the National Football League. A little bit of AFC East family business. You know how the family do it. Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. 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 Damn. How about that? Jets get on the board. And if you watch my Wednesday program, Winners and Losers, what did I tell you? Let me remind you, because you probably either didn't watch or you don't remember. So let me refresh your memory. I said the Jets are going to win a game this season. No, they're not going to go 0-16. Yes, they're a bad football team, but no, they're going to beat someone. And when they do, it's going to be at home. And get this, here's the caveat. It's going to be a team in the division. And I narrowed that focus down even smaller. And I said, it's either going to be the Bills or the Dolphins. Well, it happened to be the Dolphins. Good for the Jets. Good for Todd Bowles, man. I always like to see coaches who I feel like are in trouble getting dubs. And it's going to be a long season for Todd Bowles out there in New York. But this was a nice win. It was dominant, too. If not for a literally last-second touchdown as time expired, this is a shutout. They absolutely dominated this football game. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to the Louie T Network, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 2017 and beyond. We're changing the game. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting the subscribe button, becoming a member of the Louie T Network. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of those are in the description below. Go ahead, give your man some love. Follow me and like the Facebook page. And if you want to have your comment read at the end of this breakdown, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read once I hit the conclusion of these two teams in this game. And if you want to donate to this channel, then simply go down in the description. There's a link there for PayPal that'll help you with that. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well, but I want to get to this breakdown quickly and talk about these two teams in this game and how the Jets were able to dominate to the tune of 20-6 in winning this football game. I thought the Jets were absolutely dominant defensively. They stopped the run game, and that's the key to beating the Dolphins. You want to beat the Dolphins, you stop the run, and you make whomever is at quarterback beat you. In this case, Jay Cutler threw it 44 times. That's a recipe for disaster. That's always been a recipe for disaster in Jay Cutler's career. He's not a guy that can put a team on his back and carry them. Maybe the young Jay Cutler in Denver under Mike Shanahan was capable of doing that. But the Jay Cutler at this point in his career that we already know not capable of getting the job done without a run game. And so you saw what this Dolphins team is going to look like when Jay Ajayi in this run game can't get it going and can't get it off the ground. And they struggled in this game to run the football. The Jets were having none of it. And kudos and hats off to the Jets for taking away what the Dolphins wanted to do best and most and making them one-dimensional and daring Jay Cutler and his passing offense of the Dolphins to beat them, and they couldn't do it. So kudos to them for that. Defensively, they've got some stuff on this football team. It's not as talented, I don't think, a defense as we've seen in New York over the last 5 years or so. Even going back to the Rex Ryan days, I don't think this is as talented a defense. However, I do think that this is a young defense with some talented pieces that can be a force. Your safeties are probably the staple of your defense right now. Muhammad Wilkerson is still a mainstay. But outside of that, I think you got a lot of young players and guys that are trying to figure out what their roles are in this league and how they can help this Jets team win. And I thought it was a really good effort shown by this Jets defense. And You want to continue to see them build off of games like this where they play well, they dominate, and they help their team win. You want to see them continue to see if they can't do this and use this game as a building block for a young team trying to figure out how to win games in this league. You go to the offensive side of football with this Jets team. Look, this is as good as it gets for you right here. This is as good as it could be outside of maybe rushing the football for more yards. At least you stuck to it. But outside of that, I mean, what Josh McCown did in this game, we've seen him do this before with the Bears in that 1 year he had where he was outstanding. He can be a guy that can take care of the football and throw for some yards and manage the game well. And that's what he did here. He didn't do anything special. Man, is Robbie Anderson fast. His little ass is fast, goddammit. But what Josh McCown did here is what you expect from a veteran quarterback that's been in the league and has been on as many teams as Josh McCown is. Look, just come in, manage the game, don't do anything stupid, and give us a chance. If the defense is dominating, we don't need you to go out and be special. Just take care of the rock, and that's what he did in this game. He was efficient. When throws were there, he made them, and they made a couple of big plays, and that was the difference in the game. And so kudos to the Jets offense for going out and complimenting this Jets defense, which was dominant, and helping them win this game 20-6 in a game that should have been 20-0, that otherwise would have been if not for that last-ditch effort by the Dolphins to score. Even your special teams was able to come up with a huge stop, and they tried a fake punt, and they weren't having it. And again, that's attention to details, not giving it up there. And they needed a spark in this game, and you knew they needed a spark, and you didn't give it to them. And so I can respect that from this Jets football team. I said you were going to get one. You're not going to get many more this season. All right, this doesn't change my thought process on this football team. You're not going to get many more of these things called W's. But when you get it, it's going to be at home, and most likely it was going to be in the division. And check, and you got it done. And now I'm hoping that maybe this win feels good to all the guys in the locker room, and they want to do it again, and maybe you can go and get somebody else. Who knows? There are winnable games on your schedule. You got Jacksonville on your schedule. You got Cleveland on your schedule. You got winnable games on your damn schedule. Now the question is, can you go out and win some of those games on the schedule? We're going to see. Because Jacksonville don't look like they're trying to give up too many W's to teams that have trouble scoring. And Cleveland, they're going to figure it out eventually. You better hope that you get to them before they figure it out. So we'll see. But, hey, you're not in that discussion of when this team going to win a game. I'm glad you took your name out of that discussion. You may not win many more, but you don't got to worry about, damn, are the Jets going to win a game this year? Hey, kill all that talk, man. We're going to kill that noise right now. We're getting ours out the way. Kudos to the Jets, man, and I'm happy for Todd Bowles. It's not going to be pretty this year. I already said that. I'm going to keep repeating myself because it's not. It's not going to be pretty for Todd. And he may not make it out of this season alive as a head coach. But it's good to see him get a win, man, with this team in Week 3 versus the Dolphins in the division. As for the Dolphins, you know what's funny to me? This is so Dolphins-like. And last week, after the Dolphins won in San Diego, and it was a nice win. It wasn't great, but it was a nice win. I had a Dolphins fan ask me, are the Dolphins one of the most underrated teams in the league? And I said, no, they're not. It's too early to say that. And no, they're not. And you know why I said no? So smug and so quick. It's because of games like this, shit like this, is why the Dolphins aren't one of the most underrated teams. Because underrated teams don't do shit like this. And granted, it's family business, and you know how the family do it. You know how it go when it's two family members locking horns. Anything goes. All bets are off. I get it. I understand. But you can't lose to the Jets. You can't get dominated like this by the Jets. Is Jay Ajayi one of the most underrated backs? Hell no. You know why? Because Jay Ajayi do shit like this. 11 carries, 16 yards. He did it last year. His ass would run for 230 yards. The next week, his ass would run for 57 yards. You're like, what the hell? Then the next 2 weeks, he'd run for 170 and 230 again. You're like, wait a minute, Jay. You can't do that. He said, yes, I can. I'm Jay Ajayi. So don't ask me, are the Dolphins underrated? You want to know why? And Dolphins fans always get upset when people don't believe in them. Nobody believes in us. We don't believe in you because of shit like this. We don't believe in you until you win 9 games in a row or win 8 out of your last 10. You know why we don't believe in you until you do that? Because you do shit like this. How are we supposed to believe that you're serious? Why would we take you seriously? When you go on the road and beat San Diego, granted, that's an 0-3 team, but we know they're better than 0-3. And then you come on the road the following week against a Jets team that has been hapless to start the season off and get run. You weren't even in this game. You would have been shut out if not for a last-second touchdown. Literally, as time expired, you scored your only points of the game. But yet, you want people, what, are the Dolphins underrated? Is Jay Ajayi underrated? Hell no. Is this Dolphins defense underrated? Hell no. How are we supposed to take y'all seriously and you can't even get a win over the bottom feeders of your own division? Like I said, I stay out of Dolphins affairs because I like Adam Gase, and this team does these types of things. They'll look bad this week, and then a few weeks later they'll beat the Oakland Raiders on Monday Night Football. That's what this team does. They do things that you don't expect, and that's why I never get caught up in the affairs of the Miami Dolphins. I just watch, I analyze, and I move on with them because I never know. You think you know, but you have no idea with this Dolphins football team. You never know what you're going to get. You let Josh McCown dominate you in this game. Never once was he under siege, under pressure to the point where he felt like he needed to throw one up for grabs. You stopped the run for the most part. But never did you put the pressure that was necessary to force Josh McCown to make a mistake. He'll make a mistake. He'll give you some opportunities. You didn't force him to do that. And the biggest question mark on this team is your secondary. I don't have any confidence in your secondary. I'm not going to lie to you. I watched Keenan Allen eat your secondary alive. I watched Phillip Rivers throw for over 330 yards. And they just fell short because their kicker couldn't get it done. He's a hoe. Ho! He's a hoe. Ho! He couldn't get it done. But it's all good. This is what the Dolphins do. I'm not going to get worked up about it because this is what the Dolphins do. These are the Miami Dolphins in a nutshell. They might win the next 4 games. They might win the next 4 games. And then they'll go home and play Buffalo and lose by 30. You say, wait a minute. Where did that come from? I don't know. But that's some Dolphin shit for you. So, whenever something like this happens, you know what I'm going to say from now on? That's that Dolphin shit. I ain't going to say nothing else. That's that Dolphin shit. And I'm going to just move on. Let's get to your comments, man. Jets, get off the schneid. Put one in the left-hand column with a 20-6 victory. They're now 1-2 in the season. Dolphins are 1-1. Remember, they didn't play in week 1 due to Irma, and so they're 1 game behind. They won't catch up until week 11, which was supposed to be their bye week, where they'll play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the game that was scheduled for week number 1. Let's get to any comments that may be out there for this one. Let's see. SOL's Nation says, them skins though, yeah, no doubt. That's going to do it. No comments really necessary. Dolphins fans know. There's really not much to say here. They know they're disappointed, but they know this is what their team does. So kudos to the Jets for getting it done. Disappointed that the Dolphins didn't. You move on. That's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Jets get the win 20-6, go to 1-2 in the season. Dolphins fall to 1-1 with this ugly 20-6 loss. And if you want to donate to the channel, here's how you do so via PayPal. There's the link. The link is also in the description box below. So if you want to donate, please do so. Doesn't matter how big or how small. I appreciate them all. And I just thank you guys for your viewership. I thank you as viewers for supporting this program. And if you aren't able to donate, all I simply ask is that you continue to watch, you continue to support, you continue to like and share the videos. And most importantly, if you haven't already done so, you subscribe to the Louie T Network. That's going to do it for your man, Louie T. Going to go watch some more games. I'll be back in about 2 hours or so with 3 more breakdowns. So I'll watch these games, come back. Got plenty more games to break down. Minnesota hosting Tampa Bay. New England and Houston. What a game that was, among others. And so I'll be back with more breakdowns. I'll see you in a little bit. As always, I'm your man, Louie T. Signing off. See you a little bit later on. Have a good one.